Spider-Man, Spider-Man, 55-year-old Spider-Man. Why do we relate to him? His name is Pete, it isn't Jim. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. His superpower is not a drug. He's got radioactive blood. People live from the dead, and he's still making bread. Hey there, here comes the Spider-Man. We relate, alright, without receiving a bite. He's a spider guy, emphasis on the guy. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, 55-year-old Spider-Man. He doesn't make us bored, and he gets no reward like him. Sometimes we need a change up whenever we get banged up. We're like the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes and fictional characters of all time. Created in 1962 by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, the character quickly exploded in popularity due largely to his relatability. In fact, Lee created the character to be a relatable, ordinary teenager, much like the growing audience for comic books at the time. He wanted a young teenage superhero who wasn't a sidekick and didn't have the word boy in his name. He would be on the same level as fellow heroes who were much older. This could have easily fallen into pandering territory, but this character worked. Both sides of the character, both Peter Parker and Spider-Man, give us different things to relate to and to latch on to the character as a whole. So, in episode 2 of this series, I'll do my best to try to explain why we relate to both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I know they're the same person, just stick with me. First off, Peter Benjamin Parker. In pretty much every iteration of the story, Peter Parker got his powers as a broke teenager. Broke teenager. And that's where it starts for us. For one, a lot of people on Earth probably either are teenagers or wish they were one. The teenage years are very familiar to all of us, whether they are past, present, or future. So that alone instills a sense of familiarity in us when we see Peter Parker. He is smarter than probably 99% of us, but still he has to face the same issues that many people do. When that mask comes off, he still has to deal with bullies like Flash Thompson and bills and trying to find money and work. He struggles to maintain a relationship and to balance all the aspects of his life. He might be a superhero in his spare time, but he doesn't always have the confidence that you would think a superhero would always have. He's still a kid, and even when he grows up, he's still a man. The fact that he's Spider-Man doesn't mean that he can escape real life, but the idea that such a regular person can be Spider-Man is what attracts so many regular people to him. Peter's not special. He was randomly bitten by a spider that could have bitten anybody else had they been standing there. That could have been anybody. Even you, that's kind of the point. He can do whatever a spider can, but a spider can't avoid paying the bills. A spider can't make himself feel less guilty about his uncle's death. A spider apparently can't even always save his girlfriend. Excuse me while I cry. Pull it together. Pull it together. Okay. Alright. Peter Parker is a man before he's a spider. The struggle is always real with him. And that is something that pretty much every human can relate to. And that, in turn, makes it all the more exhilarating when a mask comes on. And when that mask comes on, it is freeing for Peter. It's a release. When that mask comes on, Peter gains confidence. He can be calm in the face of ridiculous danger. As Spider-Man, he cracks jokes in the face of that danger. And while he largely does this to keep himself calm and to distract his opponents, this is a luxury that he wouldn't have as Peter. In a lot of ways, when he becomes Spider-Man, he's free. And much of that is simply in the fact that he is Spider-Man. He has superpowers. He can swing through New York on webs. It's like a cross between Superman and Tarzan. And then he can climb on walls and ceilings. He can hang out on top of the Empire State Building and do his homework. And on top of that, he knows he has the ability to take on almost anything he comes across. Spider-Man is one of the quintessential superheroes. We like superheroes largely because we want to be them. And oftentimes we see something in them that reminds us of us. If a superhero isn't relatable, then he's boring. It's why a lot of people don't like Superman as much as they used to. He's gotten so powerful that it's either too ridiculous to understand or too absurd to believe. You don't see a man who just happens to be super. You see an alien who can't possibly be related to you. And that's why Spider-Man can survive 55 years of existence and what feels like 55 years of movie reboots at this point. He stays grounded. either grounded by his responsibilities or grounded by Aunt May. From his inception, he was created to be relatable. Spider-Man is Peter's outlet, and it works the same for the audience. As Spider as he is, he's even more man. He has all sorts of regular duties that we all have. But on top of that, with his great power comes even greater responsibility. So that's episode 2 of Why Do We Relate? I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for tuning in. These will generally be one a month instead of the 2 coming out this month, but I wanted to get this one out for Spider-Man Homecoming's release on Blu Ray and DVD about this week when this goes up. And when it aligns like that, I'll a lot of times try to release these sort of in line with another release that's coming out, like this with Homecoming coming out on DVD and Blu-ray, and also next month with Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie. So feel free to subscribe if you want to catch that. Wait, did you hear that? What did my voice just do? Hold on. Catch that. What kind of cartoon sound effect was that? Catch that. Catch that. Okay, then I guess subscribe if you want to hear more accidental sound effects. Sure. Okay, bye.